Hi, hopefully it's working and I'm live. I'm actually going to check because I can't never tell on those things. So if you can see me, please let me know. Hopefully it's working and I'm live. I'm actually live. Going to check because I can't never tell on those things. If you can see me, please let me know. Hopefully it's working and I'm live. I can double hear myself. This is too much. Hold on a second, bear with me. I'll understand how all this works. So sorry. Lots of windows here. Hold on a second, bear with me. Okay, now hopefully you can hear me and everything is working fine. If you could let me know that I'm there and you can hear me fine and there are no problems, that would be fabulous. If you can write in the little thing at the bottom in the comments to say that you can hear me, I would really appreciate it. Can probably check. And there are no problems. Okay, yes, okay, it's working. Oh gosh, it's so complicated all the time. So, hello, hi. So I'm going to be talking about dog theft prevention because the number of dogs being stolen at the moment is crazy high, and so I thought I could give you some tips and help you out a little bit to prevent such a horrible thing from happening to you guys. So for this, I've prepared something as well to share with you. If technology is my friend at some point today, I would really appreciate it, but apparently not. Okay, maybe, and maybe it's gonna be working. Okay, right. Hopefully, you should all be able to see the screen, and we can go on a little bit with the presentation as such. So, as you know, I'm Debbie Lacken, and my business is called PocoDogs. I'm a dog trainer and behaviorist, and I'm also the founder of CAD, Kids Around Dogs, the group you're part of here. I like to remind you as well that CAD is an association of dog trainers and dog behaviorists in the UK that specializes in working with families with children and their dogs to live happily together. I've also designed a successful protocol to overcome the fear of dogs in children, and all CAD instructors are trained to use this protocol. So wherever you are in the UK, you can search for a Kids Around Dogs approved trainer, and we can help you with any problems you may have with your dogs or your children around dogs. My qualification as a dog behaviorist is with the ISCP, which is the International School of Canine Psychologists, and the IMDT, that is in the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers. I am also a Dog Trainer College approved instructor. I'm a dog bite educator, and I'm part of few associations, the IAABC, ICANN, PPG, and the DWA. So that's a little bit about me and my biggest reason for doing what I do, but also for talking to you about dog theft prevention are my babies, Molly, my human child, Wilco the pug, Winnie the golden retriever, and our dear Pixel that watches over us from wherever it is that angels like him do go when they pass away. So let's have a look at a little bit the statistics of dognapping. The fact that there is a word for this kind of tells you there is a problem. So normally, the statistics say that normally there is an average of 2,000 dogs being stolen every year. However, since the pandemic, there has been an increase of 250% in dog theft. That is crazy high. And the worst thing of it is as well, it's only 22% of stolen dogs are united with their families. So that's not very much considering the number as well. And sadly, it's not exactly a recognized crime, but we'll talk about it more in a second. So although it is obviously a real crime as such, is not what you would think. It's not as if your child was taken. Dogs are seen as properties such as a watch or a pair of shoes or a necklace, for example, but they're not seen as living things. They're not family members. We know that to us, dogs are, they're just as important as our kids. They are part of the family. They are, to some people, they are the only family they have. We treat them as such. We love them as or more than another human. So to us, they are indeed family. However, in the eyes of the law, dogs are effectively property. That means that if someone were to steal your dogs, the punishment, if you like, from the side of the law would be as if they had stolen something that indeed might cost a certain amount of money, but nonetheless, it is an item, is a thing. Also, it depends, the punishment in itself depends how the dog was taken from you. Say that it was taken with certain force, then it become robbery. So the punishment in itself would become, it would depend on how the dog was stolen. But otherwise, yeah, still, it's not a great, it's not a great thing to think about that in the eye of the law, dogs are just things. But there is a petition going on, and I'll make sure that I will post this petition as well on CAD and PocoDogs and whatever other social media kind of platform I use. There is a petition to change this, so if you could please sign it once it's up, that'd be great, because yeah, things need to be changed. Dogs are not just something that we have. We love those guys, and also some are also trained as therapy dogs, as assistant dogs. So they're not, they have a value that is indeed replaceable as such. So why are they stolen? I see some messages. Sorry. There is Debbie. Hi, Debbie. So thank you, Judith, for letting me know that it was all good that you could hear me as well. So why are dogs stolen? Right. So as you probably know, or you might have seen around, and people have been talking about it, they over lockdown, or since the pandemic has started anyway, more people have been interested in adopting dogs. More people have adopted dogs. Therefore, the demand has gotten higher, and so has the price. Puppies that before could have been adopted for a certain fee, now their cost, their fee is 3 or 4 times higher than it was before COVID. So obviously, right, there you go, a dog has much more value now. Therefore, by reselling a dog, those people are making money. Sadly, they're also used for dog fighting, which is incredibly upset to even think about. But is a reality, is out there, and sadly, that's something that we also have to face. And there is big money in there as well. So there you go, more money in there. Breeding, such as the puppy farms out there, which sadly are still very much happening. So a dog becomes valuable in itself because it can be used for breeding and and often the conditions as dogs are kept are dreadful as well. So on this point, gosh, it could be an entire talk on just, you know, a puppy farm and what's, you know, the reality of this dodgy breeding. But when you adopt a dog, and don't take the excuse of COVID as a valid one for not getting enough information, for not seeing the dogs, for not seeing where the dogs are kept. Don't meet anywhere dodgy. Just do your researches and don't think, oh, I'm saving these dogs because they were kept in such a dreadful situation. You're not saving that puppy. You're putting more dogs in those conditions, in those situations. So please, please, if there is anything dodgy happening, if you see anything untoward that you think that doesn't feel right, doesn't sound right, call 101, which is the non-emergency police number, and report what you've seen. They're also used for ransom. So stolen dogs often are used for ransom. Some people, as you know, put out a reward, say, oh, I'll give you £500 to get my dog back. No question asked as well. And very often the thief in himself or herself shows up at the door. Look, I found your dog. Can I have the £500? No question asked, right? It can just make up his excuse, just found it in the forest or, you know, down the woods. So it was all alone there. There you go. And they make some money. Some people can also make up a story such as, hey, I have bought your puppy down at the pub for £1,000. Give me the £1,000 back because, you know, don't know who the guy was, and someone's got to give me the money, and there you go. That someone is you. So again, at the end of the day, it's money. Basically, of all this is still the greed of humanity, it seems. So who is the biggest target? As you can imagine, puppies are more valuable as such. They can resold pretty easy. They can sadly be used as bait in dogfight. They can be kept and then be used for breeding, because most puppies hopefully would not have been neutered or spayed yet, so perfect for breeding as well. On this point, I urge you not to have your puppies neutered or spayed too soon, just to avoid this kind of problem, because that wouldn't be ideal for the puppy. But also, don't forget, a thief most likely doesn't know that your puppy is still intact as such. So that would not change it in that respect. But yeah, so puppies are obviously the biggest target. Then some breeds are more valuable than others. So English bulldogs, at least in the UK, are still very expensive, therefore more valuable. French bulldogs are also quite expensive, an expensive breed. So again, that would make it more valuable for these kind of people. And then there are quite popular breeds, such as the Cockapoo, for example. They're very, very popular. That's my bug will go. They're very, very popular breed. Everyone wants them, so it would make them quite a high target for horrible people like that to want to steal. Then unsupervised children, and on this point I can't stress this enough, not only because of CAD, but is because I see it like on a daily basis. I see children as young as my daughter, who's 9, walking the dog, or what I assume is the family dog, without any parents around. So I assume parents are like, oh, just walk the dog for just around the block or whatever, and they are children, and they are walking a dog alone, even if they're a little bit older than my daughter. If they're, 12 or 13, they're still kids. Please, please make sure you don't get your child to walk the dog without a grown-up present. Please, I can't stress this enough. Not only now the children will be targeted as such because they're much more, if you like, easily persuaded, maybe even to be given a dog away, or they're easy to, you know, push aside and get the dog stolen. But it's just not safe. It's not safe. So please, 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 don't get your child unsupervised to walk the dog. People with disabilities, sadly, if people are on wheelchair or mobility scooter or crutches, and elderly people as well, that would be a bit more frail, if you like. Sadly, they would be targeted the most, because obviously it'd be easier to take a dog away from people that might have certain conditions and therefore cannot chase the thief that easily. So bear that in mind. So again, if you have any disability, or if you're particularly old, or you know someone who is particularly old and a bit more frail, or if it's a very, very busy household and they don't have time to also walk the dog, and that's why they send the kids to walk the dog, then hire a dog walker, hire a professional that can help you with that. That should point out as well that some dog walkers as well could be seen as bigger target, and I'm going to get to that in a second as well, because I do have some advice there to give you. So the mistakes to avoid and what to do. I mentioned it before, and I really want to stress this again. Do not let your children unsupervised walk the dog. Go out with them, even if that means, you know, putting aside having to do the laundry or whatever. It's got to be done. So, you know, don't trust your child alone with the dog. Not because of the child, but because of horrible people out there, but sometimes also the kids. Be present. By be present, I mean, you know, be in the walk with your dog. Don't be on the phone. Don't be chatting to your friends. Don't be distracted by your own thoughts as such. I think we're all guilty of that at some point or another. I've like the phone, for instance, is my thing. I'm always checking messages or things like this. I get distracted by that. And because most of the time I do walk with my husband and Molly as well, when she's not at school, so I know that someone else will also look after the dogs. But yeah, be there with your dog in the present. Make sure that you're looking around. You're not, you know, you're observing where your dog is at, what kind of people are around, and stuff like that. As for your household, make sure that your garden is safe, that all the fences are up, for example, that your garden the garden gate is actually locked, and things like this. Same goes for the house. Just make sure that everything is is as safe as possible, that your dog cannot, because someone cannot just be coming into your garden or reaching over a fence and picking up your dog. Just be mindful of this kind of things. If your fence is quite low, you can get some pretty extra bits on top that can make it look really nice, with some flowers and things like this. But then it would make it much harder, if not impossible, for any thief try to get in and get your dog. Routine, and this is also something to do with dog professionals, so dog walkers and dog boarders. So we all seem to follow a certain routine at some point. We at I don't know, at alpha stage, we'll get out of the house and go to work, leaving the dogs for a certain amount of hours. Or every day at 12 o'clock, the dog walker is coming, and she or he is going to park in the driveway, is going to get in the house, takes her about 10 minutes to put the harness on, put the lead on, and get out again. And if some people are dodgy and they have horrible intentions, they might follow you. They might follow a family that has a puppy, or they have a teenage dog and it's a female and they want it for breeding, for example. They would watch you. So the dog walker coming every day at the same time and taking the dog every day to the same spot, to the same area, doing the same walk, that could actually be making it very, very easy for some people who are, right, 12 o'clock, the dog walker is coming and she's going to be there for 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, they could go into the van and take another dog out. So if you're a professional, some advice that I can give is to make sure that your van or your car, whatever you're using, is locked while you are collecting another dog. If you have any signs from your vehicle that can be removed, maybe remove them for the time being. If you're using, if you got any kind of sign or recognition that you are a dog walker, take that away if you possibly can. There are other ways that you can marketing yourself, so I'll talk about it in a second. So you're not going to lose a client. If anything, they will see how you value, you know, their dog and their safety as well. So they'll. I would think I'd be very happy to have a dog walker like that personally. So yeah, so if you always go to that client at 12 o'clock to pick up the dog, tell the client, we're going to adjust things around and times will have to be changing every so often, but don't make it like, oh, every Tuesday then I'm going to pick him up at 10 instead of 12, because you could be watched again. So try to really mix it up and make it a little bit more random, or as random as possible. Lack of security. So that could mean, for example, having cameras like CCTV cameras, or we have the ring, for example, where when someone is around, the camera picks up who's outside the properties, and it also records it for a while, so we can go back and have a look who's been around the house. You can also use those for the car, so you can put it on top of the car, and again, or inside the car rather, and again they record a certain amount of time. So if anyone was looking into your vehicle, for example, or trying to find out what's going on in your house, and they're kind of hovering around your house or watching in and stuff like this, then the camera can record that. If you can't afford the CCTV camera, there are a lot of dummy cameras that are quite cheap. You can buy them like on Amazon, and you can put that. A thief won't know if it's a real thing or not, so you can fool them like that. Then on social media, for this, it's about the fact that we all share as much as we can about our lives on Facebook. I love Facebook and Instagram, so we all tell everybody what we've been doing, basically. Anyone that can see what we're up to, they'll know, basically. All our friends and non-friends, everybody in the world can know what you're up to. And that's, it's all good, it's all fine, but we need to always be careful of how much information we're putting out there. So maybe kind of more personal details of your dog could be kept away from public eyes. So maybe if you're calling your dog a certain nickname, for example, or your dog's favorite food, or some like date of birth and things like this, try to keep it away from social media. On a professional level, a lot of dog boarders and dog trainers and dog walkers and behaviorists, we all use social media for our business. When I train a dog and I post about it, it means that I'm active, that I'm working, and I'm qualified to work a certain type of issue, and that would lead to more clients coming to me. And that's normal. And I'm not saying that you should stop doing that, because that could be detrimental to your business as well. And I wouldn't want that. But maybe things can be swapped around a little bit. Make sure that the location is anonymous. You don't have to say where you have walked a dog or where your client lives. Also make sure that you don't name the humans. It could just be, I can't think of what dog's name. It could be Rocco, the dog, has had a great walk with me today. Yay. And could just be like a simple one photo of just the face of the dog, and that's it. But then to your client, then you can bombard them with a million photos. Oh gosh, we did this today and it was awesome, and he picked at the ball and whatever. So to your client personally, you can go nuts and give lots of information of all the fun that you had with their dog, but publicly keep it really simple. You can say today I had a case of, I don't know, separation anxiety, for example, but you don't have to say where you have been or the age of the dog or too many details that could lead dodgy people to find out too much about that dog. On professionals, again, dog walker and dog boarders in particular, if you're walking too many dogs, you need to be mindful of the fact that no matter how good you are, it's really difficult to keep an eye on all of them and be 100% certain on everything that is happening around you. I used to be a dog walker myself, and when I had a few too many dogs, my husband would come with me because I was worried that I couldn't watch them all. And then I just decided not to have that many. I had to be 100% certain that my eyes were on all of the dogs all the time. So, but yeah, so that's something else to be mindful of. So how can you be prepared for if the worst were to happen? So make sure that you have a good photo of your dog. I think, I don't know about you, but I have like more photos of my dogs on my phone than I have of my own child. But they have to be good photos. So say the dog goofing around with another dog wouldn't be a great picture to tell the world, oh my gosh, my dog has got lost. So it's better if it's a frontal photo of your dog and possibly of the whole body as well, so you can see the whole dog. Then make sure that the microchip is up to date. On microchipping, I see there is a lot of misinformation sometimes. When you adopt a dog, the breeder doesn't automatically give the information to the microchipping company, if you like. You have to do it. So when you adopt the dog is effectively registered under the breeder's details. So it's your job to register the dog, then to change those details. The other thing is, if you're moving, you need to change the microchip details. So you need to update them, make sure that the new address and new details are there. If you have adopted a dog privately from another person that is not necessarily a breeder, again, this has to be done. Another thing on microchipping, and I think is a little bit of there is a little bit of a misunderstanding of what the microchip can do for you. First of all, it's the law now for every dog to be microchipped, so they have to have it. But the fact that a dog is microchipped, it doesn't mean that you can find them. It's not like a tracker or anything like that. It just means that when you go to the vet and the vet checks the neck, or normally it's on the neck, or could be on the shoulder kind of thing, but they check the body of the dog, if you like, with a little machine that looks like a little flat plastic thingy. So they go through the body of the dog to find where the microchip is, and then it beeps, I think, and the number of the microchip appears on this little machine. Then they input the number in the system, and it comes up to say that so-and-so in this address, whatever, owns the dog effectively. And that is it for security. So in a way, the first thing that I could suggest you to do when you adopt a dog, even if it is from someone that you believe to be a good breeder, make sure that you have a vet appointment already in place, and make sure that you ask the vet to check the microchip. That the microchip is there, first of all, who is registered to it. Remember, as soon as you adopt a dog, it's not registered to you yet, but you can check if he's registered to the effectively to the breeder or to someone else. The vet doesn't necessarily do that, but if you ask for it, they will. Sometimes they are just so busy that they don't have time to maybe think about that detail as such. So insist that it's done on that first visit. And also when then you change address and you notify the proper authorities, and you go back to the vet, again, ask them to check the microchip and make sure that the details have been changed. But having the microchip, it doesn't mean that you can find the dog. It just means that if someone does find him or her and they take him to the vet and the vet can check the microchip, they can go, oh, hold on a minute, this dog belongs to Debbie Lacken, so it's not your dog. And then often that's how they get reunited. So yeah, it's important for it to be there. And also below. There is an app that was recommended to me that is called What 3 Words. It's a free app that you can download on your phone or whatever, and that can help you to know exactly where you are, as the image comes up in like little squares and it tells you exactly the location you're at. This is so if anything were to happen, if someone were to steal your dog, you know exactly where you were, and you can explain that to the police. Also, this is all preventative. This is so that you are prepared in case things happen, but that doesn't mean that they have happened. Also contact your insurance because it depends on the policy that you have, but some insurances will cover searching for the dog, and they can be very helpful as well. So, check out your policy. If you're not sure, just give your insurance a call and see what's what. And if you're not covered for search, see how much it is to be covered, because maybe it's just a couple of pounds, and it might, it's worth doing. Then on what you can have effectively on to defend yourself or to help the police with the inquiries should that be needed. You are allowed to wear a body camera, and the prices of these things are like between 40 to 100 pounds. Some are like crazy money, but I think you need anything that special. And there are some like really easy that you literally attach like the top of your t-shirt or whatever, and you're wearing it like that. You could also have a GoPro if you want. If you already have one, you could use that, for example. But that way, if someone approaches you and tries to take the dog, at least it's recorded on camera, and then you can find that horrible person. Then personal security alarm. It can be just one of those really loud whistles. It can be something even louder. I think you can actually pull this little thing, this attach inside, and it makes a really, really loud alarm noise. And they're like really cheap. They're about £10 on Amazon. So again, you wouldn't spend a fortune, but it might be worth considering. Also, because I've seen a lot of the internet and a lot of other dog professionals in particular going, oh, I'm carrying a pepper spray or whatever other kind of device as such. We are not allowed to do that. Nobody is allowed to do that. Whether you're a professional or a dog owner, you're not allowed to carry anything that can be considered a weapon as such, or that can anyway cause harm to someone else. So if you're carrying the pepper spray and someone comes up to you and you spray them, you can be in trouble. You get in trouble. So don't do that. But yeah, body camera and a personal security alarm, that can be good, especially the alarm thing. That would really raise awareness around and get you a lot of attention, and hopefully scare the the teeth away from that. So what to do if your dog is taken, right? So first of all, don't hover. Don't just hope that your dog will suddenly come back to you, that person will have a change of heart. Because even if the person does have a change of heart and drop the dog, it's not gonna bring it back to you. So act immediately. If your dog is taken, call 999 and give as much information as possible. I did write down a little list as well to make sure not to forget anything. But the location where you're at, and that's why the app I mentioned before, the what rewards is ideal because it shows you exactly where you are. But even the normal app on the phone, it's called Maps. That's also a good one to exactly pinpoint the name of the road or whatever. So make sure to have that exact location and also the time. If there are any witnesses as well that can help, gather them around and give those details to the police. If they are on any kind of vehicle, describe that to the police. Anything that can help, give that information. If you get the plate number, brilliant. Even if it's a few digits, is better than nothing. So get that in, model, color, and anything. I'm rubbish with cars and stuff like this, but I'd be all right to give a color and maybe a similar make to something else, for example. Any details you can get it. Also, from the from who was it? I think it was the pet prevention, pet death prevention website. They were suggesting if someone were to attack you or to take your dog anyway, try to see what shoes they're wearing and what they're wearing from the bottom down. So trousers, jeans, shorts, whatever. But try to get that information. So apparently, it's much easier for someone to ditch a jumper, for example, than it would be to take your trousers off or something like this. So try to get that kind of information. That'd be more helpful to the police to find them. Then contact doglost.co.uk. Again, wherever you are in the UK, Dog Lost can be there. I do believe there is a Dog Lost everywhere in the world, but obviously I'm much more knowledgeable of the UK. But yeah, Dog Lost is great. I am very lucky to know a few of the Dog Lost people in Dorset where I live, and they're brilliant. They really are. They take the time to, over the night, weekends, it doesn't matter to them. They come out, really help, and fantastic people. Then again, the insurance, and I mentioned before, if you then have that the part of the search discovered, the insurance can help you out. I believe they also may create some posters. I'm not exactly sure. Depends as well on the insurance, I guess, what exactly they'll do for you. But every little helps there. Contact your local dog warden. If you don't know how to do it, you just call you can call 101, which is the non-emergency number for the police. And literally, as you like on the phone, it's just like a repeated machine, and they tell you, you want to speak with this and that and that. And one of the people you can speak to is the dog warden directly there. Or just go on Google and type the county you're in or the town you live in, and dog warden after, and the number should come up, or some or a website to get you to get to their number should come up. Again, where I live, at least the dog warden is fantastic. Sarah is brilliant, and I've worked and chatted with her before, and she's fantastic. Then call your vet as well. Forgot to put that on this list that you see here. But call your vet, call any local vet, in fact, because you just never know if someone might bring the dog there. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person that's taking your dog will stay local. They might go out, but still, it's worth calling all local vets and let them know what happened. On this, share it on social media as much as you can, like go completely nuts on social media. Even contact some of the local dog walkers and dog trainers and behaviors, whatever, and say, oh, please, please, please share it on your page. Dog groomers as well, you know, and or family groups as well. Like I can't think of any now, but maybe if your kids go to school, you might have access to the school Facebook page or whatever. Ask them to put it in there wherever possible. Just literally put the photo of your dog wherever it can go and your phone number to be contacted. And call also local media, your local radio station or TV station, newspaper, whatever. They might broadcast some information for you, or at least put on their website. They might be able to do something to help you. The point is to make your dog too hot to handle. And so hopefully it will be relinquished somewhere. Then some emotional support. If it were to happen that your dog is taken, I can't even imagine how difficult that would be emotionally. Know that you're not alone and it's not your fault. Don't give up on trying to find your dog. You know, I know that some people would say, oh, try to move on and stuff, but while I would still suggest to, you know, that your life has to carry on, I think a part of me would still want to try, so I wouldn't give up. You do hear of people that get reunited with their dogs after years and things like this, so don't give up on it. Keep putting posters, keep using social media to really get the photo of your dog out there, and hopefully, you know, one day you can be reunited. When grief takes you, and even if you don't know what happened to your dog, that is still part of grieving. I highly recommend to speak to a specialist. My friend and someone that I know is absolutely great on her job is Emma Thoms, and that's her website, emmathoms.co.uk. She is a grieving specialist, and she will work with these cases as well. And yeah, she's brilliant, really, really good. Here again, a few little links that you could that you might want to consider jotted down. And again, I will post these links as well on the group later. The petition to change the law to make sure that dogs are considered more than just a pair of shoes. For professional, there is the pettheftprevention.com. They are offering courses on much more in a much more elaborated way than what I presented you this evening. So I would recommend, especially for professional, to maybe look into doing a course on this particular topic. And again, how to emotionally deal with your dog going missing. emmathoms.co.uk. She's absolutely fabulous. Don't forget, in the UK, the emergency number is 999. If your dog is taken, call 999 immediately. They will take this seriously, and they will help you however they can. If, however, you only see something, well, that's enough. But if you see something suspicious, if you think that you might have been followed, or anything you think could be something, give a call to 101, and that is the non-emergency number for the police. Again, I know that I can only really speak for my area in Dorset, but they're very helpful, and I really do believe they do care. At least the times that I used it, even just for information, they were great. So do use the service that we have out here. So a little thank you here to Dorset Police. As I mentioned before, I did call 101 to get some extra information, and Dorset Police was brilliant, very, very helpful. Dog lost, again, I can't stress enough how awesome those people are. They're volunteers, that's is literally from the kindness of their heart that they try to find dogs that are lost, or they run away as well, or they're taken. And the pet theft prevention I mentioned before, great advice. I think the lady that runs it used to be a policeman, actually, policewoman rather. And yeah, really great company, really great business there. So I am happy to take some questions. I'm just gonna, if I can, stop sharing. There you go. So I can have a look online and see if there are any questions here. Okay. So hi, Juliette, Debbie, and Emma. Thank you so much. I'd say that's Emma Thompson I mentioned during the presentation. She's right there from Emma Thompson, Grief Recovery Specialist. She's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I think I covered quite a bit. Oh, there is Janice Price. Thank you so much, Janice. She is fantastic and volunteers for Dog Lost, Dog.co.uk. Again, they're a brilliant thing you guys do. I know you're everywhere in the country. I'm lucky enough to know Janice, and my dog loves her as well. So yeah, we we got her locally. But yeah, they're everywhere in the country. So no matter where you are, if that were to happen, or even if is your dog that runs away, Dog Lost are there to help, and they are really, really brilliant. There you go. Emma as well points out, make sure that she's also going to update the address in her for her dogs too. It's those little things we forget. We're so busy in life. But yeah, if you're moving, make sure that your microchip details are up to date, so that nothing is amiss. I think I covered everything that could be helpful. I can't think of anything else really that you might need as such. If however you find that you might have questions later on, you know where I am. You can always PM me on CAD or PocoDogs and ask away. If I can answer some question, I definitely will. But again, I would report back for anything suspicious, 101 if you're in the UK, obviously, 101 for non-emergency number. If however the dog has been taken, then 999 is the number to call. So don't call 999 unless something has happened, basically, because they won't be able to help there. So thank you so much if you had followed live, or if you'll watch this later. Thank you so much for for watching, and I wish you all a great evening. Bye. Now I'm gonna have to find out how to close this. Bye bye.